What's up, my friend? Zeina here, and in today's video we are going to be talking about character voice. Last week I gave you guys the final step in the character profile and the internal parts of a character, and now I'm going to focus on the fun or external parts of a character. If you guys don't know what character voice is, I like to call character voice the things that make a character unique. So if you have a cliche character voice will give this character a bit of spice and make them a bit more unique and give them a nice touch. Or if you have characters that are very similar, character voice will make them give each other their own personal tastes and spices. Let's do this. So, character voice. It's hard. When writing in multiple points of views, you want the reader to know whose head they're in without the chapter heading. Yeah, hard. You're trying to put your own unique spin on something without making it seem like it was written and planned. Weird. So I'm going to share with you guys my 7 tips to help you ace this difficult but not impossible thing. So number 1, learn your character's personality type. I have talked about it before, but MBTI and enneagram aren't everything. They don't define an entire person's personality. Absolutely not. But these MBTI and enneagram help when you know your character's personality type. You can learn about it. You can understand their thought processes better. You can learn their reactions better, how they'll react and respond to certain situations, and so much more. So how I find my character's personality type. Let's say when I write a novel, I instantly know which characters are going to be the sarcastic, comic relief ones, which ones are going to be stern and uptight, which ones are going to be like very studious and really care about their studies. So I kind of just understand their genuine and like general concept of personality. Then I started going in and kind of labeling them with the enneagrams or MBTI. So I found these really useful and helpful enneagram and MBTI cheat sheets. I'll leave them linked in the description down below for you guys if you want to check them out. So number 2, make your characters polar opposites. This one's more of a hack, but handy, especially if you're new. In fact, if you're new, try it for practice. I used fanfiction for this, so you already have the character personalities down, so it's easier. Character voice is just something that kind of just clicks at some point. Like you'll get it. It just clicks and you're like, oh yeah, I get it now. So if you have like a fanfiction, try noticing the ones with opposite personalities, the characters with opposite personalities, and like write in their points of view, or in general just write characters with opposite polar opposite point of views personalities if you want. But I just find that it's so much easier in doing so. Anyways, number 3, assign a phrase to a character, something they specifically say. You know how some people just say something that's so inherently them, like only they'll say it and you know they'll only be the one that says it. I like assigning certain phrases or mottos, if you will, to specific characters, and no one else says it. Like one character says, oh my gosh, or instead of no way when they're surprised, or even something as small as, look, all I'm saying is, versus, listen, all I'm saying is. It could be just as small as that, because if they all say the same thing, they're going to sound similar, which isn't what you want. So make like a character phrase list guide thing and add it to your character's profile just to make it like easier, and that way you'll add a unique linguistic touch for your character. Number 4, method of manipulation. So if you're writing fantasy or sci-fi, it's probably a weapon, but not all of them are. Maybe you're writing contemporary. Instead of a weapon of choice, this is going to be method of manipulation, because it's contemporary. You won't exactly have people bashing each other's skulls with a weapon in a business romance. No, you're going to have people manipulating others. So you can find so many ideas online of methods of manipulation. Some of them are passive aggression, physical intimidation, deception, harsh comments, overly complimentary, guilt trips, frame control, exploitation, and so many more. So even if your character isn't the type of manipulative person, maybe they're a sweet, bubbly, calm character, or the protagonist, they aren't going to manipulate people. But they probably want something, and they're going to manipulate others in order to get this something of their desires. Number 5, make them use metaphors linking to them. So something they would actually use given their background, life experiences, job, hobby, etc. But some of you are probably going, well, careful what you wish for isn't exactly related to anything. But I tend to have characters who compare emotions, people, or other things to something they're familiar with. For example, in my current novel, my main character girl was going to compare something to pollution, but then I was like, wait, hold up. She lives in a futuristic, clean, eco-friendly world. She is not going to know what pollution is. So needless to say, I changed the metaphor to something that fit a whole lot better. Or for example, my main character Guy in the same novel, he has fire powers. So a lot of his metaphors and things he relates to are usually very fire based. So just little things like that kind of help. And linking to it, number 6, what they do all day affects how they see the world. A well-known psychology fact is when you train your brain to see specific things, it'll find them. Research has shown people who have jobs that are really specific to something, like maybe computer science or IT, they're going to see more of it in their daily lives, even when they're off work. So don't go too crazy with this one because not everything reminds us of our job or that thing. Same with your character. Instead, sprinkle this through the novel. It adds an authentic flavor if it's done well. Like one of my characters is a techie hacker character, and so the other day he said something like, my brain is still trying to download our last conversation. And I was like, wow, that's perfect, because it links to his day-to-day activity, which is ICT and computer science and hacking and code. So I was just like, that's perfect. And finally, number 7, create your character's DFM lens. DFM is basically desire, fear, and misbelief. This is how they view the world, and this is what makes them a conflicted person. They will see everything through that conflicted lens. So if we have a character who believes being rich means being happy, they will look at life that way. They will look at other people who are richer than them and get jealous and not think very highly of their own social status. Whereas if they see people poorer or lesser than them in money and social ranking, they'll feel proud of themselves. Or another concept where someone believes that falling in love and having a relationship will make them happy, but they're afraid of commitment. They'll see how other couples go and get jealous and want to have a relationship, but he'll constantly look for ways to have a relationship without fully committing. So that is what the DFM lens is. So craft one. I know it seems like an internal thing, but internal conflict and character voice kind of go hand in hand and help each other. So it'll help craft an awesome character. Oh, and bonus point and tip, I suppose, change the font. I learned this from another VTuber, and she basically said that when she writes in multiple points of views, she likes to change the font. Like if it's a poetic character, it might be a fancy serif font, or a logical character, a clean serif font. Just a little thing like that, because it kind of helps you get into that character's mindset as a writer and a reader. When you see that specific font, you'll be like, oh, that's character's name. Head now, we're in this character's head. And as a writer, you'll kind of be like, okay, I see this font, I'm writing in this character's point of view today. So it just kind of helps distinguish. So yeah, These are my 7 character tips on creating character voice, and I hope they help you. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe and like, and tell me in the comment section down below what you do to make your character unique and have a very specific and interesting voice. I'll see you all next Wednesday. Rock on!